Come with me to Norway on a coastal cruise with Havila Voyages Part 6. It was day 8 of the Norwegian coastal route and it was a life admin day for me. There were a couple of port stops, but I was doing all my laundry and my thermals were all in the wash and my pajamas were not appropriate attire for going outside during the polar night in the Arctic, so I just relaxed on the boat. For day 9, I was right back into the adventures. I booked an excursion around the Vesterålen region. I had never heard of Vesterålen before, but it's just north of the Lofoten Islands, which I absolutely loved last time I was in Norway, so I was excited to see what Vesterålen was all about. The excursion was a bus tour with lots of people, which isn't my typical preferred travel style, but it was worth it. We started at a 15th century church, a little museum, and a medieval farm, and then our bus took us through some of the most magical winter scenery I've ever seen, and we caught a ferry with panoramic views at the best time of the day for lighting. It was just a quick taste of what Vesterålen has to offer, but I'm already planning to come back here for a road trip. A bus drove over the Trollfield bridge right as our boat was sailing underneath, and we got back on board to enjoy the mountains that surrounded the harbour. In the afternoon, there was an announcement over the phone system that we were about to enter Trollfield. Trollfield is one of the narrowest fjords in Norway, only 100 metres wide at its narrowest point, with 1100 metre peaks towering above it. Quite impressive that they sail at 124 metre long ship in there and basically do a U-turn. The ship enters the fjord on both the north and the south route when weather permits. Unfortunately, at the end of November, it's pitch black at both times, but it's a highlight of the cruise in the lighter months. Later in the evening, we cross paths with another Havila ship heading north, which we marked by having a flag waving competition in the wild wind, and at night I got my last Aurora sighting of the trip. This was the 5th display I'd seen on the coastal cruise. It was so cloudy, but the lights were super strong and they lit up the entire sky. I could even see them moving behind the cloud cover, so I can't imagine how bright they would have been if it was a clear night. Day 10 took us back across the Arctic Circle. This was my last full day on the ship and it was pretty terrible weather outside, so I just used the time to capture content of the ship's lounge areas, and I also joined a tour of the bridge to meet the captains, which was super cool. There was an overwhelming number of buttons and screens. We learned a bit about how the ship's giant battery packs and other eco-friendly features work. Havila ships are some of the most sustainable cruise ships in the world. They have the largest battery packs ever installed on a passenger ship, and they've been future-proofed to be able to switch to hydrogen power once it becomes available for cruising, which will make the ships completely emissions-free. For my last dinner on the boat, I went to the fancy fine dining restaurant. I chose the land-based menu, which was 6 courses and included beef tenderloin, cod with crayfish stock, duck, reindeer, and 2 sweet dishes to finish, all using locally sourced ingredients, of course, and it was divine. Come back for part 7.